Hi everyone and welcome to my place. Now I've had a request from Catherine. Catherine, I don't know where you are in the world, but you have asked me if I could come up with a concept using tropical flowers for a wedding buffet banquet table to be viewed from all angles. Hopefully I've got you covered, but I got myself lost in translation when I was doing this and I found like probably about 20 ideas. So this is the first one that I want to convey today. Right, when it comes to working with tropical forms, they are the easiest forms to work with because the sky is the limit, and I always like to think of going to the jungle or to the tropics and you see hanging amaranthus, and you see not hanging amaranthus, hanging heliconia, and then you see birds of paradise, and then you see beautiful frangipani and hibiscus, and they just sort of like grow all over the place. So there is no right and wrong way of how to place them together, and sometimes you only have one or two of any form. Well, that is okay. Now, because they are full of water, they're usually quite heavy. So the construction and the stabilization, i.e. the container, is really important. Now, I wouldn't use silver to be displaying anything tropical in it because it's not quite right. Glass is fine. Terracotta can work, but I like something like this, something that's ceramic. And I also think that because, Catherine, it's going to be at a wedding or a banquet and people are going to be walking around it, I would try to not have it too splayed out. I'd try and keep it as perpendicular or as vertical as possible. Right, because I'm using artificial, because it's very difficult for me to get a good supply of fresh tropical flowers here in New Zealand, I'm going to work with some artificial. Right, once you've got your container and filled it with, well, because I'm using artificial, I'm using the green foam. And the other thing is, when it comes to working with tropical flowers, because they, as I said, and I just need to reiterate this again, because they're full of water and they're heavy, make sure that the right proportion is 1.5 times the height or the width of the container. You can go as tall as you like, but just make sure that your base that you're working from is about that same proportion. Right, starting off with some leaves. These lovely palm ferns are quite nice. I'm just going to push those into there like that. Now I've got 3, and because this is going to be viewed from 3 angles, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these with equal distance between the each placement so that you can see them from all sides. Now, usually I would go right from the corner, but I'm not doing that because I need to cover as much ground as I can. Now I've got these. Now these may be Anthurium leaves, I'm not sure, but I'm going to put 1 into there and take that to there. So because I've used 3 of the first lot, I think I'll use 3 again, push those into there, and then just gently bend them down. And the great thing with tropical forms and foliages, it's usually it's either sticks straight up or it actually flows out, makes designing much easier. The other thing I like to do is to make sure that I've got complementing forms. So I've got something spiky here with something that's lovely. I'll just move that because I don't like that. That's lovely and sort of smooth. So all of a sudden you're starting to build this really beautiful picture. Now I've got 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there, and already I can see that I'm out of balance. These I get away with because of the plane level that they're going on, but I actually think that I need 1 more in this corner, and I'll show you what I mean. So just by putting that in, even though it's not one, the general rule is, whatever you do on one side, you put on the other, but this is going to be a little bit loose and informal. I actually feel that there is more balance with those 4 there, and also I'm covering the edges of my container, but the container will still be part of the final composition. Right, the next thing to do is you can either use bamboo or whatever you've got. You see that? It won't go in. So when things like that happen, this is what you can do. Take that off. I won. I love that. I love it when I win. So let's just do that again, shall we? Now, I've had lots and lots and lots of requests from worldwide, from people wanting to know where I get my silk and artificial flowers. I get them from a place here in New Zealand who is our importers called Flower Systems. I also get them from a place called Spotlight, which that's a store here in New Zealand and in Australia. They are so good to me. They provide me with all sorts of things. If there is somebody out there in the world, could you please Gmail me and tell me if you know of a supplier, then I can contact them and then we can start sharing the word so that everybody can have access to some really nice artificial forms. Right, from there I think I need to put in a little bit of droopy stuff. This ladder fern seriously doesn't do much for me, but I bought it from the $2 shop. That's another shop that we have here. I don't know what you call them overseas, but it's not very good quality, but for today it will do. Cut that down there and I'm going to put another piece onto that side there. Now, this is what I like to do. I like to get my foundations in first before I go any further. Right, I have got over here a whole supply of flowers. I've got this lovely heliconia, which I just know is going to give me a bit of gyps, so I might as well just get rid of that bit there. Now, I should have done this all before I started, but to be perfectly honest, I don't even know where I'm going with this until I get all my bits together. And I like to think of designing as like doing a jigsaw puzzle where you just join everything, you just put everything together and hopefully it all fits. Right, that grows like that. So that needs to be placed like that and used. And when you're using artificial forms, the other thing that you need to do is just give it a wee twist and a tweak because nothing really goes straight up like so. Right, from there I've got these lovely gingers. So I'll use those, and I've got 2 of those. So I'm only going to use 1 of those, and this is why I really love working and designing with artificial, especially with the tropical forms, because you can go whichever way you want. Now I'm going to put that there. Just push that down into there, like so. Put that into there, and because this is to be viewed from all around, what I've done on that side, I will put another one into there. And if it sort of is moving a wee bit, just sort of, you might be able to just even get the leaf and stick that leaf around there to hold it in place. Oh, I just love these tricks of nature. Okay, and I'll just give that a wee bit of movement there just by tweaking and bending it. Okay, now, what else have we got here? I've got a couple of bird of paradise. Now, these grow quite high. Now, you could put that in there high if you wanted to, which I think I will. Oh, hello, can you see? Right, that can go into there like that. And then I'm going to put another one, cut that down. Now, I can't tell you what height exactly to cut them. You're just going to have to sort of like work that out for yourselves when you're putting them in. So I've got one there, so I'm just going to put another one into there like so. And these are the most interesting flowers. And when they all die off, you know how they've got this, usually one will die off. Well, the interesting thing is that if you pull that dead bit off and then put your hand inside there, you'll find that all of these little beaky bits are all hidden inside, and you can just gently get in there and just lift them out. So clever. Right, I've got 2 in there, and I think I might like to bring another one just ever so slightly low down, and I might just, yes I will, I'll put that one there so that that goes that way, and if it's still not behaving itself, just give it a wee twist. Ooh, I do like being able to do that. Right, what else have I got in here? I have got some anthuriums, so I'll use a couple of those, and I'll cut those quite short. Seems terrible, doesn't it, to be cutting something so short, but that's okay. I don't mind. Now, these, I'm going to put one into there, and I'll actually cut that just a little bit shorter and put that in with those leaves. And if anybody in the world knows where to get cutters like this, see these cutters? These sprung-loaded cutters are the best that you can ever get if you're looking for something, wire cutters that are going to be good for the big strong stems that come with the silk flowers. Now that's not sitting straight, so I'll just move that, and I'm going to put that down into there so that that forms a nice low layer. And the other thing I've got to tell you is that not all foam is equal. The cheaper the grey foam, the worse it is, because it's like when they've cut it, that whole bit that they've cut off has been cut too hot, and when you go to stick things into it, you can't get them to stay in. Drives me crazy. Okay, what else have I got here? I've got these hanging gingers, so I'm going to put those in as well. So it's really, really easy designing, working with artificial, with silk flowers, because it's just however they fit in is how you put them in. And if they grow up and they droop, just put them in so that they grow up. They are placed to droop down. Right, the other thing I've got now, say that's all you've got and you've got a little plant. Now imagine if this was a living plant, that there you could take out of the soil and that could be placed to go straight into there like that. So that fills that little hole. And then the other thing I've got is some frangipani. Now this we all know is never ever going to be on stems this length, but I don't know what you've got in your side of the world. So cut that and then that could go into there like that. Tropical flowers and colours are so lovely to work with. Okay, so I've now got, as I look at it and go around, I've still got a hole there. So what I think I will do there is, if you don't have any other foliage, why don't you do any other flowers? The other thing that you can do is you can just put a piece of foliage that would just cover up that little hole there. Or if you wanted to, you could, and I know I've got one here. There was another one. Oh, have I got eyes on today? No. Get another one of these and, oh, my crikey, these are so hard. Oh, so if you do find scissors, any of these clippers, I don't bother going to the gym, I just get in there and be rough. Okay, that could go into there like so, and if you had more you could bring those out. And because I've got these lovely white ones here, I actually think that I will also put these in because I've just had another visual. So it's just I hope this is helping Catherine, because there is no right and wrong way of arranging with silk, I keep saying silk with your anthuriums. It's just a matter of just finding getting what you've got and then just putting them together as if you're going by paint by numbers. And I've already said in my fundamentals of floristry that when you're putting things in, like especially things like this, just to layer them and group them in is a really nice way of working with them. And to finish off, because I feel like I need to do this, and the other thing with the anthuriums is they're just like leaves and they've got that beautiful glossy surface. Okay, so I've got that there and I'll just put another one in there because I keep remembering the brief is that it's to be viewed from all round. So I've got 3 over that side and then I've put another 2 around this side so that they step down. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this being constructed and that I've taken all of your fears away. Now I do want to use this and I'll show you why I want to use this. There. Look at that beautiful colour in there. Beautiful, bright, tropical flowers. If you had more forms, you could put them in. You could perhaps even put an orchid there, and I have got a nice orchid, so I'll just get that out. I love these slipper orchids. I think they're slipper orchids, but you could just put that into there. So there are no right and wrong ways, that you just go for gold and you just go whichever way you want and put them in to suit yourself, because there is no right and wrong way. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed doing it for you and I've got lots more coming. See you another day.